Welcome back, Stasa23 here, back with some knife therapy, and today I have for you my top 10 hard use work knives that are under $45 with sub 3-inch blades. We did the larger one last time. If you hadn't seen that video, check it out. I'll try to leave a little card for it here, but let's get started. And I have some alternatives for some of these, and let's get it. First up, we have, coming from Cold Steel, it is the Cold Steel Toughlite. This is an AUS-8 blade, FRN scales, comes in at $31. For $31, I think it's a good deal. Very, very comfortable in hand. If you haven't ever owned one of these, for as cheap as they are, I definitely recommend it. Excellent blade shape for detail work, power cuts. It slices well. And, you know, most of these at the price point, if you break them, it's not that big of a deal. The only thing I don't like about this, of course, is the tip-down pocket clip. But once again, at that price, I can look past that. It does have the infamous very strong triad lock and very solid lockup. I don't think I can, yep, I can even spidey flick it. It is very smooth, and Toughlite has been a popular one around for a while. Huge lanyard hole. And that is the number one knife, the Toughlite. Coming in from Buck Knives, number two is the Buck Mini Spitfire. Now, the blade steel isn't, you know, the best, but it does have a good heat treat on it. They have a good back lock system. It's 420 HC. Coming in at $39, aluminum scales, and it's, you know, it's one of their most popular knives, at least the larger one. The only thing that I don't like about the knife is the pocket clip. It is very, very tight and hardly any space underneath there, so just something to note. It does have the Paul Walsh heat treat, so it's probably, you know, in that upper end of the heat treat for 420. And it'll perform good enough for what it is. That is the Buck Mini Spitfire. All right, number three, coming from ESEE, we have the ESEE Zancudo in D2 steel, D2 FRN, and it is a stainless frame lock. I have it tipped down. Only reason for that is because when it's tipped up, a good bit of the knife sticks out, and it doesn't hurt the ergos at all. So you can go tip up, tip down, but it's right-hand carry only. Just a good knife. And you can pick up one of these for 35 bucks. I think it's kind of hard to beat at the price point. You can easily clean it out because of that flow-through design. That full flat grind is going to allow it to slice well. And you have that, you know, stronger frame lock and a bunch of standoffs to keep that side-to-side rigidity intact. Now, you know, I'm talking about these knives, you know, when I say hard use, just, you know, tougher task work knives, you know, at this price point and size. So next up, coming from Ontario, the number four is the R2D2. You can't have a list like this and not have the R2D2 on here. Mine's been heavily modified with an acid wash, but you can get it black blade, satin blade. Comes with the FRN scales, D2 full flat grind. Just a good work blade shape there. I put my edge on this one. Any Rat 1 or 2 I've ever had, always had an excellent action. You know, that nice pop out, riding on. Phosphor bronze with a thin Teflon layer, so it's always been very smooth. 4-way positional pocket clip, good size. You can kind of choke up if you wanted to right there because of the way this is. The R2D2 comes in at 38 bucks. I think that's a pretty good deal, just like that ESEE Zancudo I just showed. All right, next up, another one coming from Ontario Knives. It is the Ontario Betsura. Once again, you have that Warncliffe blade shape. You have an AUS-8 blade on here, like a black wash finish. This is a titanium frame lock. Deep carry pocket clip, tip up or down, right hand carry only. Riding on bearings. And yeah, I talked to somebody about that recently. You know, it depends on the environment you're going to be working in. Bearings aren't an excellent environment for a very gritty, dusty environment, of course. But if you're going to be doing, you know, like some power cuts, you know, cutting into rubber and stuff like that, it'll be just fine. And one good thing about the bearings, or if you have access to water, you could flush it out really good, blow it out with compressed air, if you have some lube, put a little lube in there and you should be good to go. Unlike a washer knife, you'd have to take it apart. So that is the Ontario Betsura and Aus 8 steel coming in at 40 bucks. I think that's a pretty good deal. It is contoured micarta. It's not the nicest looking micarta, but for the price tag, I think it's good. That flipper tab, canted back, good action, fairly comfortable in hand. Ontario Betsura. All right, the next couple are some of my faves in this category. And number 6, we have the CJRB Small feldspar. This could be my favorite on this list so far. Yeah, it is my favorite so far on this list. Got a D2 steel, high flat grind, double thumb stud deployer. This is on bearings. You have the contoured G10 scales. You can get it in several different colors. Tip up, deep carry, left or right hand. Excellent action, comfortable knife. And you can get one of these for 35 bucks. I think that is an amazing price for what you're getting here. You have that copper looking pivot collar right there. Just a very, very nice knife for the price, and you could get some work done with the CJRB Small feldspar. Alrighty, coming in at number 7, coming from Sincut, you have the Sincut Scepter. This comes in at $43. You get a non-CR18 MOV. It's kind of similar to 440C. Sincut does a good job with it. You will probably need to be sharpening. You will have to sharpen it when you get it because tend to have some burnt steel because of the price point, you know. You have dual thumb studs, so this is a dual deployer. You can use those thumb studs, which work nicely, or you can use that flipper tab. This is riding on bearings. This is translucent G10 or JG10 flush hardware right here. Pivot sits a little proud. You have skeletonization in there. Nice liner lock, deep carry, a left or right, tip up. Just an excellent knife at the price point at $43. Excellent right here. Sincut Scepter. All right, the next one is probably the toughest in this list if I had to say. And so the number 8 knife is coming from SOG. This is a SOG Terminus XR in D2 steel G10 with their XR axis style lock right here. This is $44. Probably, I think this is the most expensive on this list of the 45 and under. Comfortable in hand. SOG does a double cryo, I think, on their steel, and they usually hold up fairly well. I love that blade shape, that clip point blade shape. It slices fairly decent and very fidgetable, and that axis style lock, their XR lock, is going to hold up nicely for you. Flipper action, and you could also use those thumb studs. So that's always a nice feature. Deep carry pocket clip. And let me see, hold on. Let me check it out. I think, yeah, you can swap it left or right side. Also, you do have that skeletonization, so it keeps it down on the weight. SOG Terminus XR, excellent choice for the task at hand of a harder use work knife. And that sub 3-inch blade. And under $45. All right. Another one of my favorites is coming from QSP number 9 is the Penguin. I love this knife. One of my favorite shop knives. D2 steel. That Warncliffe blade again, riding on phosphor bronze with a thin Teflon. So it's very, very smooth action. I think I own 4 or 5 of these. I have 3 of these, the D2 with the blue jean micarta. I have the carbon fiber Knives Plus one with S35 VN and the Raindrop carbon fiber. And I love all of them. I need to get the titanium and 154 next. Deep carry pocket clip, left or right hand carry. You can get this right here for $33. I think that is an awesome, awesome deal on this knife. That is a QSP Penguin D2 and blue jean micarta. All right, last but certainly not least, coming from SRM Knives or Sanran Mew, it is the 7228. This particular knife is D2 G10 Axis style lock, and it's going to run you $43. Sanran Mew usually does a pretty good job with their heat treats. You have a high flat grind. I like the blade shape, comfortable in hand, deep carry pocket clip, left or right hand. I don't like the color of this, but you can also get it in, I think, blue G10 with a black blade. It's got a thumb disc deployer. That's another thing that's usually not my favorite means of deployment, but it gets the job done, and it is a smooth action on here. This is the SRM 7228, $43. Now, real quick, I'll go through some of my alternatives. The reason why these are the alternatives because these did not meet the 45 and under criteria, but they are amazing knives in the size, the sub 3-inch blades. And first up, coming from CIVIVI, of course, is the CIVIVI Elementum D2 G10. Comes in at $50 with the drop point blade, or the Tanto variation that just came out for $52. Both of these I think would make excellent work knives if you want to spend a little bit more money. CIVIVI doesn't. Probably the best heat treat in this category of knives that I've shown y'all so far. All right, next up, coming from Kubi, the Kubi KU 163, $47, AUS 10, titanium bolster, G10. Just a heavier duty knife. I mean, this thing's thick, and it just has a nice thwack to it. It's a liner lock, but that is a super thick liner. $47, just over our $45 price point on bearings. Dual deployer, awesome knife right there. And an excellent knife in this category. Best Tech Sledgehammer, $52, D2 with that stout blade right there. Micarta, bearings, liner lock, very smooth action, but the thumb studs kind of bother my thumbs. They're a little sharp because my detent is a little stout. This is tip up right hand carry only though. And another one coming from CIVIVI is the Mini Bull Massive that I chopped off the blade. This used to have a cleaver style blade, $50, and I think this is 9. I think this was 9 CR 13 MOV G10 on bearings with that fuller you could use to deploy it, or that flipper tab. Another good one here. And coming from Kaiser, the Mini Domen N690 stainless steel right there, $55, G10 on washers, thumb stud deployer. Good little work knife here as well. And 2 more alternatives. You have the CRKT large Pilar. I hit or miss with them, so that's why another reason why I wouldn't have put it on the list. $52 stainless steel 8CR. Only thing I'd say is it's very comfortable, dual deployer, and this is a Jesper Voxnay's design. I love pretty much everything he designs. This is on Teflon washers. Mine has a good action. This one is held up for me. And last but certainly not least, is coming from CIVIVI once again, is the Saviviodium Ferrum Forge collaboration, D2 steel, pretty stout little knife. That choke up position makes it super comfortable in hands. Semi-contour G10 scales on bearings for $53. So there you go. That's my top 10 plus the 10 plus some alternatives. If you have any questions about any knife in particular, let me know. And also down, I know some people in the comments, oh, what about this? This is just all that I had. This is the top 10 in my collection, hard use at 45 and under sub 3-inch blade. So you got to think, if you ask me the knife, did it meet those criteria? And then also, you know, do I have the knife? If I don't have the knife, I can't put it on the list. You know, unless it's, you know, one that I'm doing off online. But I don't like those videos. They don't seem as personal to me. And if I don't have it, that means I probably didn't like it enough to keep it, or it just didn't do it for me. So I wouldn't be able to have tested it out anyway. So there you go. I hope everybody's having an absolute wonderful day, and I will see y'all on the next one. Peace.